Hello, good day from wherever you are watching us. You're welcome. All right, just few minutes while adjust the camera. Yes, just say hello, say hi. Let us know where you are streaming from. Let us know. Drop it in the comment section. Let us know where you are watching from. My name is Choma Odikulu. You're all welcome. You're welcome, and we will start shortly. Just few minutes. Drop it in the comment section. Let us know. Even if you're catching a replay, say something. Say hello, say hi, so we know you are here with us. All right. Okay, yes. Okay, we are good to go. Okay, so hello, say hi. Let us know where you are streaming from. All right, just a few minutes while I adjust the camera. Okay. Okay, I think this is better. All right, that's fine. Thank you. Okay, so you're welcome to our Wednesday Live. Okay, so today we'll be talking about the 3C formula: clarity, commitment, and consistency. How to stay focused as a parent. How can we stay focused as parents? Most of us were struggling with focus, but today we're going to talk about clarity, commitment, and consistency, the 3C formula. Now, why do so many parents struggle with focus? Why is it that when you look around you, you can see so many parents struggling with focus? Now, have you ever, as a parent, started your day with the best of intentions? You started with your day with like, okay, the best of intentions. You want to achieve this, you want to achieve that, only to find out that you get distracted along the way, only to find out that you get overwhelmed along the way, only to find out that you get unproductive, and before you know, the day is gone. Do you find yourself that way sometimes? Now, sometimes you plan to spend quality time with your children, with yourself, with your husband, with your wife, but sometimes you just get caught up with social media. You get caught up with so many distractions. Sometimes you're meant to finish an important task, but you're distracted with so many things interrupting you, so many things seeking for your attention, so many things taking your attention. Now, sometimes as a parent, you promise yourself to be a parent. You've promised your children, I'm going to be present, I'll connect, we'll play, we'll do so many activities together, we'll plan to do so many things together, but you just find out that you're not able to achieve it. Sometimes you're even distracted. Sometimes you're distracted in your thoughts. Your mind keeps wandering to different things, different situations. Does it sound familiar? Yes, the truth is that if it sounds familiar to you, I'm here to tell you you're not alone. A good number of people are struggling with this same thing. A good number of people are struggling with focus. A good number of their parents out there are really struggling with focus. Not because of lack of motivation, but because most parents, most of us have not mastered this 3C formula. And what is this 3C formula? Clarity, for the first C, for the second C, commitment, and the third C, consistency. Now, in our today's class, we are going to see how we as parents can cut distractions and reclaim our time. How we as parents can reduce distraction in our everyday life, in our everyday activity, and begin to reclaim our time. We are going to see how we can build a deep focus routine that can help us and our children to thrive. We're going to see how we can build this routine of focus that can help us as parents to thrive and also help our children to thrive. You're welcome, Doctor. Thank you, Ma, for joining us. Yes. And we're going to see how we can stay committed as parents and consistent even when life gets busy. That is what we are going to be learning. So just sit back. Let us learn. How can we as parents take full control of our focus? How can we be fully present for ourselves first? How can we be fully present for our family? How can we be fully present for our children? How can we be fully present for our husbands or for our wives? That is why we need to learn this 3C formula: clarity, commitment, and consistency. Now, I have to let us know that focus doesn't just happen by accident. You don't just stumble on focus. You don't just say, today I'm going to be focused, I will be focused. No! Focus does not happen by accident. Focus is built intentionally. And it starts with this 3C formula, which is clarity, commitment, and consistency. Now, what is clarity? The first C, which is clarity. Clarity means knowing what truly matters. So as a parent, as an individual, clarity to you means, clarity to us means knowing what truly matters. And the truth is that what truly matters for each of us will be different. What really matters for Mr. A might be different from what matters to Mr. B. What matters to Mrs. A might be different from what matters to Mrs. B. So the question is, what truly matters to you? Now, clarity is about defining what is most important. As a parent, as an individual, what is most important for you? What is most important to you? When you are able to define it, that means you're clear on what is important to you. Now, I must let us know that without clarity, distractions will dictate your life. When we are not clear of what we want, when we are not clear of our life, when we are not clear of where we are going to, distraction can easily come and dictate our life. Distraction can come and dictate the course of where we are meant to go to. Now, how can lack of clarity lead to distraction for us as parents? Number one, if we don't put our priorities right, we will learn to react to whatever comes our way. So when you don't prioritize, when you don't set things in the right way, how you want them to be achieved, things that are most important to you, the truth is that you're going to react in a way, when things come your way, you're going to just react anyhow, because you've not even prioritized. You don't even know that thing that is of most importance to you. Now, if we don't plan your time, if we as parents don't plan our time, other people will plan it for us. That is the truth. When you don't plan your time, other people will plan it for you. When I don't plan my time, other people will plan it for you. When you don't plan your events, when you don't plan your activities, other things, other people will plan it for you. That is why when you wake up in the morning, without plan, you find out that someone will just call you, oh, can you attend this? And because you don't have a plan, like, okay, I'm coming. You're almost done with that. Someone will call, oh, please, can you help me get this? Because you don't have a plan, you go and do it. Before you know, you're drained and the day has ended. That is what happens when we don't plan our time. When you leave your time to chance, when you don't plan your time, when you don't plan the time of your children, others will plan it. That's why someone can come and say, okay, let's go out, let's play. Even if it's not in your plan that day, even if you know you have other things to do, but you give in, you allow other people to come in and coach into your time and plan it for you, is because you did not plan your time. If you as a parent, or if us as parents, we don't decide what matters most to us, everything will seem urgent. When you don't decide what is of most important to you, everything will seem urgent. That is why we are always stressed. We are overwhelmed. We want to do something now. You want to do something that is not urgent. You just want to do it now. You know why that thing happened is because we don't decide what is of most important to us. When we know what is of most important to us, when we are clear of what we want to do, where we are going to, things will not just happen and seem urgent. But the truth is that things will always look urgent. Things will always look like you must do it now. You must do it now. Because we are not clear. Most of us are not clear of where we are going to. So we need to be clear. We need to have clarity. We need to have clarity of where we are going to, because when we have clarity of where we are going to, it helps us to be in the driver's seat of our life. It helps us to be in charge of our life. It helps us to be in control of our schedules, our activities, and our life. So we must be clear. Clarity is very important for us to succeed as parents. So what are some of the ways we can begin to build clarity? Since clarity is of importance to us, how can we begin to build clarity as parents? Number one, define your core priorities. One of the ways we can build clarity is for us as parents to define our core priorities. What is that thing that is of most priority to you now? What is that thing that is of most priority for you to work on your child now? What is that activity, that career, that course, that thing you need to do that is of most priority for you now? Ask yourself this question. What kind of parent do I want to be? So we must learn to ask ourselves, what kind of parent do we want to be? Do we want to be the kind of parent that when our children are all adults, they'll be grateful and say, I'm so grateful you were my parents. I am so grateful you were the one that parented me. Do you want to be the type of parent that when you wake up, you see yourself growing, you see yourself doing, impacting lives, impacting your children, adding value, you're happy, you're so grateful? Do you know what kind of parent do you want to be? Do you want to be a parent that connects with your child? You need to set your priorities right. And it starts from we asking those questions. What matters most to you in life right now? What is that thing that matters most to you right now? What matters most to you might be totally different from what matters most to another person. That is why you see people doing different activities. But because most times we always put ourselves in this seat of comparison, what matters to that person might be different from what matters to you. We are all going different ways. We all have our goals where we are going to. But because we are not clear on our priorities, you see the other person doing something and you want to do it. But the truth is that when we have clarity, when we are clear of our priorities, you won't be fluttered when you see another person doing something else, because you know you're heading towards your goal. You're clear of what you want to achieve. If you don't decide what matters most, everything seems urgent. As I said earlier, if we don't decide what matters most to us, everything seems urgent. What can we let go of now to focus better on what truly matters? What is that thing you're doing now that you know you can actually let go of it, so you can focus better on what is of most important to you right now? That is the questions we need to ask ourselves. Those are the questions we need to ask ourselves. Another way we can build clarity is to create a to-do list. Create a to-do list of what you want to do. Many people make to-do lists, funny enough, but few create a to-do list. We say things like, oh, I'm going to do this in my head. Tomorrow I'm going to do this. But a few people put down on paper, as I said in our book review, think on paper. Write it on paper. That list you're creating, don't create it in your head. Write it down. Write it down. Identify the things that waste your time and energy. As a parent, one of the ways we can build clarity is to identify what wastes your time and energy. What is that thing that wastes your time and energy? You know vividly that this is where a chunk of your energy is going to, and it's something you can actually do without. What is that thing that wastes your time and energy? Could it be excessive social media? Could it be excessive watching of the television program? Could it be excessive? Could it be unnecessary commitments? Identify the thing that wastes your time. When you're able to identify it, it will help you. It's like a step to your journey of clarity. Is it excessive TV, excessive social media, unnecessary commitment? Identify what are your time wasters. Begin to work on your time wasters and cut them down. Actively cut them out. If you need to cut them out, fine, cut them out. If you need to reduce. But the most important thing is for us to identify our time wasters, work on them, and do away with our time wasters. Another way we can gain clarity is to plan our day in nights before. So write down, what are the 3 most important tasks I need to achieve tomorrow? Write it down. Plan it. Time block when you will focus without interruption. Time block. When am I going to be focused? Is it early in the morning? Is it late in the evening? Is it in the afternoon? When am I going to be focused without interruption? Plan ahead of time. The distractions to avoid. Plan. What are the distractions I need to avoid to keep me focused? Do I need to avoid the distraction of my phone to keep me focused? Do I need to avoid the distraction of social media to keep me focused? Do I need to avoid the distraction of unnecessary multitasking? Most times, our multitasking distracts us. So plan. What are the things I need to do away with? What are the things I need to work on so I can be focused? This is my social media. Is it excessive? I need to reduce it. Do I need to work on it? How many hours am I going to be on social media? How many minutes am I going to be on social media? Okay, for this period of time, when I want to focus on this activity, can I do away with these distractions? So plan ahead of time so that when that time comes, you've already planned it, and you will not find yourself, keying in or falling in for all these distractions. So we must plan ahead of time. Now, the second C that can help us as parents is commitment. Decide to show up daily. We must decide to show up daily. Decide to show up for your goal. That goal you want to achieve, that thing you want to achieve, even if it's 5 minutes, decide to show up for it. That thing you said you want to do, you want to read a book. Even if you read for 5 minutes a day, decide to show up for that thing you want to do. Decide to show up for that your goal. Decide to take choices, make decisions on a daily basis for that your goal. Clarity gives us direction as parents, but commitment is what keeps us moving forward. Our clarity gives us direction, a sense of direction on where we are going to. But do you know, it's our commitment that keeps us moving forward. It's our commitment to our goal that keeps us moving forward, that makes us not to drop the ball. It's our commitment to our goal that makes us not say, oh my God, I'm tired, I'm not doing this. No, it's our commitment that keeps us forward. And that is the difference between wishful thinking and real transformation. So the difference between we thinking wishfully, wishful thinking and real transformation is commitment. You continue to move. You continue to stretch. Even when you make a mistake, you get up, dust yourself, pick up, learn the lessons and continue. It's commitment that helps us to be truly transformed in our minds, in our thoughts. It's commitment. And what are some of the enemies to our commitments? Number one is excuses. I will start tomorrow. I will start next week. I will start next month. I want to write a book. This book, I will start next week. I want to read for my exam. This exam, there is still time. I will read next week. I will start next month. Those are some of the excuses we give ourselves, and it's one of the enemies to our commitments. The things that make us not to be committed to our goal, excuses. This is my goal. Oh my God, I'm tired. Tomorrow I will start. Next week I will start. Next week we give excuses, and when we give these excuses, it prevents us from achieving our goal. And these are some of the enemies to our commitment. Another enemy to our commitment is perfectionism. When we can't start anything until everything is perfect. So when we wait till the conditions are perfect, the situations are perfect, it's an enemy to our commitment. You don't want to start till everything is perfect. When you do that, do you know what you're doing? You're actually procrastinating. And before you know that thing, you might not do it. So instead of waiting for everything to be perfect, why not just do it now? Even if you don't have to get it 100%, why don't you do it? Just start 20%, 30%, do it. Get it done. Don't wait for the situation to be perfect. Most times most of us find ourselves in this situation. Maybe you want to write a book. Let me give an example. You want to write a book. You say, oh my God, what do I know? I need to read 20 books before I write this book. But the truth is that the more you read those books, the more you waste more time. Before you know, you're losing steam. You're losing motivation to write that book. Before you know, it will not be a story. Anybody that comes like, I've always wanted to write a book. I've always wanted to write a book. But what if you start now? Even if you don't know everything 100% to write, just start to write. That is it. That is the spirit. So don't allow being perfect or perfectionism make you not to start something. Just start. Another enemy to our commitment is distraction. For example, I'm busy. This thing I want to do, you're doing something, you're working on your goal, another idea comes, you drop it, you start another one. Distraction is an enemy of commitment. And when you look around us, we have so many things distracting us. So many things looking for our attention. As it is said, time is now the greatest, what did people say? Is the greatest resource. Yes, time, focus is the greatest resource. So many things distracting us, so many. But we must be intentional to understand. We must discern what is a distraction to our goal. And it only starts when we have a clear goal. Because when you have a clear goal, you know where you are going to. This distraction made me remember the story of Peter in the Bible. Peter saw Jesus walking on water. And Peter said, Lord, Master, Jesus, I want to walk on water. Ask me to come. And what did Jesus say? Jesus said, get up, come. And Peter came out of the boat, stepped out of the boat, and started to walk on water because Peter was focused on Jesus, which is the goal. He kept on looking at Jesus. He was walking on water, but immediately Peter took off his eyes from Jesus. Immediately Peter got distracted. Peter started to sink. And that is what happens to most of us. Immediately we get distracted, we start to sink. Immediately we get distracted, our eyes are taken away or is taken away from the goal. And that is one of our enemy to commitments. So we must be able to discern these enemies to our commitments. We must work hard to see that we overcome anything that will make us not to be committed to our goal. And it starts with the choices we are making. It starts with the decisions we are taking on a daily basis. It starts with what you are doing now, not what you will do tomorrow. So how can we build commitment as parents? Number one, set clear boundaries. We should not be city without a wall. Don't be a city without a wall. Don't give everybody and everything access to you. We should have boundaries as parents because boundaries is very important for our health, for our stability, for our minds. Decide on non-negotiable family time, for example. For example, you can say no phones during dinner, no screen time during dinner, no screen time during dedicated playtime with my children. We must set clear boundaries. Decide that this time I want to play with my children. No distraction, I'm dropping this phone. Set clear boundaries. That is one way we can build our commitments. Another way we can build our commitment is to protect our focused work time to avoid unnecessary interruption. Avoid unnecessary interruption. That thing that is interrupting, you know your interruptions. You know your distraction. We all know our distractions. We know the things that are interrupting us. Some of us is scrolling. Some of us is, oh, let me just check social media. Somebody has sent me a message. You go and check. Do you know when you're doing one activity and you move over to another activity, it takes, and come back to that same activity you were doing previously, it takes some minutes for you to be fully present in that activity. So when you're doing something and you see you're distracted, probably you go and scroll, you check your message and you come back. Before you gain concentration to focus on that task, it takes some time. We all know our distraction. Name your distraction and begin to eliminate that distraction. It is going to help us to build commitments. Another way we can build commitment is to use the 5-minute rule. What is this 5-minute rule? If you don't feel like starting a task, tell yourself, I will do it for just 5 minutes. So even if something is hard, oh my God, I don't want to read today, I'm tired. Just tell yourself, okay, I'm going to do it for 5 minutes. Once you start, you just find out that sometimes you keep going. When something is difficult for you, just tell yourself, I'm giving myself 5 minutes. Just start it. Most times when you start, you keep going. So keep going. Be committed. Be committed to your goals. We should be committed to our goals. Another way we can build commitment as parents is public accountability. When we declare our goals publicly, maybe to our friends, to our family, it helps us to build commitments. So for example, you can tell your family or your friend about your goal. For example, you can tell them, okay, I intend to spend 30 minutes every day with quality, uninterrupted time with my children. Do you know what it does for you? It makes you to be accountable. So every time your friends or your family people or those people you shared that goal with, they are constantly asking, were you able to spend the time with your children? Are you keeping up to you spending your 30 minutes? They are constantly reminding you of what you said. That is one way we can be committed. So if you have a goal, you want to do a business, you want to write a book, who is that person you can confide in? Who is that person you can talk to about it? That person that shares the same value with you, that person that you trust. Talk to that person. What that person will do for you, that person is going to be like an accountability partner. That person is going to hold you accountable, and that person will constantly be reminding you of that thing you said you wanted to do. When you do that, you help yourself. We help ourselves to build commitments. You know, Tell your goals. Say your goals. What you want to achieve. If you want to declare it publicly, it's fine. Declare it publicly, because when you declare it publicly, you have someone that will be reminding you, that will hold you accountable. But the most important thing is that accountability is very key. We must be accountable. When you have someone that keeps you accountable, it is very easy for you or for us to stay committed. So that is one thing we have to do. Now, the third C, which is consistency, it means for us to continue the journey. Yes, thank you. Continue the journey. So small steps every day leads to big results. The steps we make on a daily basis, do you know it leads to big results? It's just like when a child is learning to walk. The first day the child learns, the child makes a step, the child falls down. The next day the child makes another step, falls down. Over time, these small steps, you see, over time this child can walk. Just like learning to your alphabet. You know, when we were growing up, they taught us alphabet A to Z. You learn A, B, C before you get to Z. That is what consistency is. Small steps every day leading to big results. The step we make on a daily basis, it leads to that big result. So we might not really stumble on that big results. It's the step we put in, the process, the work. Even your child, you want your child to do well in school, it's the step, it's the process, it's the work. You want to be better at something, your goals, it's the step you're making, the baby steps you're making on a daily basis. Those steps you neglect, those are the steps that sum up and make up to be the big goal you want to achieve, or the big results. Now, the secret to long-term success is consistency. Most of us find it difficult to be consistent. And the truth is that if you're a consistent person, you're most likely a disciplined person. Because the secret to long-term success is consistency. When you look around you, most people that are successful are consistent because they understand this secret, which is consistency. Most of us start a task and the next day we are tired. Oh my God, I cannot do this. I am tired. You drop the ball. You stop. But the truth is that we must get up and tell ourselves, I can be consistent. If the other person is doing it consistently, I also can be consistent. So if we must be successful, we must learn to be consistent. Be consistent in that thing you do. Be consistent in your goal. Be consistent in your impact journey. Be consistent in whatever you do. Just stay consistent. You're a parent, you're learning. Be consistent. Keep learning. Keep growing. You're having communication. You're talking with your children. You're connecting. You're doing that thing which you're doing. Be consistent. Keep doing it and never stop doing it. You don't need to be perfect. We don't need to be perfect as parents. What we just need to do is to show up daily. We don't need to be the perfect parent that knows everything. No, what we need to do is to show up daily for ourselves, to show up daily for our children, to show up daily for our husbands, for our wives, for our family, to show up daily for our goals. That goal you've set for yourself, that dream you want to achieve, that vision you want to achieve, that place you want to see yourself in 6 months, in 10 months, in 1 year. Can you begin to show up daily for yourself? Can you begin to show up daily for that goal? Nobody is going to show up for us. We need to take full charge and full responsibility for our life and begin to show up for ourselves daily. Nobody will show up for you. We have to show up for ourselves. Now, small repeated actions are more powerful than big inconsistent bursts of efforts. The small repeated action we make on a daily basis, even if it is small, even if it's 1%, do you know it is powerful than big and inconsistent burst of efforts? So the efforts you make on a daily basis, the small baby steps you're putting, as long as you're doing it every day, do you know it is powerful than when you say, oh, today is the day I want to achieve all the goal. I'm going to make all the effort today, and that is all. No. The most powerful thing is that small baby steps you make on a daily basis, or we make on a daily basis. So we're going to look at why is it that most of us parents, we struggle with consistency. Why do we find it difficult to be consistent? Most of us are not consistent. You say you want to read book, today you read, tomorrow you not read. You want to do journaling, today you journal, tomorrow you will not journal. Me, I'm also guilty sometimes, but we are all on this journey of learning. One of the reasons why most of us struggle with consistency, number one, we wait for motivation. But the truth is that motivation comes and goes. Do you know? Motivation might not always come when you want to do something. No. Sometimes you want to read a book, you're not motivated. Maybe you're not even, you don't even like the font that was used or that is used in writing the book. You're not motivated to read that book. Motivation must not always be there. Do you know where motivation comes? Motivation comes when you start to do. So when you want to read a book and you're not feeling motivated, motivation will come when you start to read that book. That is where motivation will come. So motivation comes and go. So if you're the parent waiting for motivation, the truth is that you might wait for a very long time. Because sometimes that motivation might not even come. Sometimes you might even be the one to stir up that motivation. Sometimes we might be the ones to stir up that motivation. Because the truth is that it's when you start a thing that you find motivation. Sometimes you might not even be motivated to even that your goal. You might just feel, today I am tired. I don't want to do. But the truth is that when you start to do, like we said, 5 minutes, give yourself 5 minutes. Before you know, that motivation comes again. That drive comes again. So don't wait for motivation. Don't wait. Oh my God, I want to read a book. I'm not motivated today. I'll not read. Tomorrow I'll read. You want to attend a course, you are doing a program, you pick up your book. Today I don't want to read. Oh, this course. This lecturer, this, that. I'm not motivated. Tomorrow I'm motivated. Don't wait for motivation, because the truth is that that motivation you're looking for might not come in the way you're expecting. You might wait for too long. Pick up the book, start to read, and motivation will come. Because motivation comes and goes. It's what you do sometimes that brings in this motivation. Another reason why we struggle with consistency is that we aim for perfection instead of process. Most of us, we want perfection. Most of us parents, we want the end results. We are focused on the end. We are so focused on results that we don't look at the process. You're so focused on getting the best of grades that you don't look at the everyday baby steps you put in. You're so focused on results that you don't see the steps your children put on a daily basis. You're so focused on having A. You're focused on having 100% for your children that you forget to see that every day your child is putting paper together. Your child is tearing pieces of paper. That is process. The child is working his or her way to success. Your child is doing crafts every day. You see it as rubbish. What you are after is the end result. What you are after, did you carry first? I remember when we were growing. Those days, I don't know if they even do that first thing now. I don't know. But when we were growing, most of us, we had these things. Most parents were focused on what is your result? How many percent did you get in maths? How many percent did you get in English? How many did you, what is your WAEC? How many A's? How many B's? How many D's? Most of us are so focused on the end. But the truth is that we must learn to focus on the process. We must learn to focus on it. We want it quick. We want it fast. You want to be successful today, but you don't want to put in the work. You want to make all A's, but you don't want to read your book. You want to be successful. We admire successful people, but we don't want to do the work successful people do, because we are so focused on the end. You're focused on the end that you don't want to put in the work. You're focused on the end. You don't want to put in the work. The process, the effort of putting the work, you don't want to do it. And that is one of the reasons why we struggle as parents with consistency. We want everything to be perfect. You don't want to focus on the process. You want to work on your health. You don't want to exercise, but you want to be healthy. You admire someone. You want to be like this person, but you don't want to put in the work. You don't want to exercise. You don't want to cut your diet. We don't want to be disciplined, but we want the end results. And that is one of the reasons why we struggle with consistency. But if we must be consistent, we must learn to focus on the process. The process is work. The process is as good as the destination. The process is as good as the end. Your child every day is scribbling paper, tearing paper, is as good as the end result of that child. Your child every day blabbing is as good as the end result of that child speaking the best sentence you can think of. Your child every day making mistake, pouring water on the floor, cooking with sand, cooking whatever they are cooking is as good as the end result of them being the best cook. So we must learn to focus on the process. Process is something we are struggling with in our generation, in our time. But it is good because we are all learning. So we must learn to focus on the process, not the end. Another reason why we struggle with consistency is that we don't have a system that keeps us on track. Most of us don't have a system that keeps us on track. You want to work on your parenting. Are you in a parenting academy? You want to work on your career. Are you in a system that keeps you accountable? Do you have a mentor you're looking up to? Do you have someone that have gone through that path you can learn from? That is why most of us struggle with consistency, because we are not in this system that keeps us accountable. If you're in a system that keeps you accountable, do you know what the system will do for you? It reminds you constantly of your goal. Even when you fall, you watch other people, you get up, dust yourself, and you continue the journey. So if we must be consistent, we must build in systems. We must build in accountability partners. People we can speak to. People we can talk to that can hold us accountable in achieving our goal. So what are some of the practical ways we can build or stay consistent as parents? Number one, we must use habit stacking. So attach a new habit to something you already do. So that new habit you want to start to do, attach it to something you already do. For example, after I wake up, I will spend 5 minutes planning my day. You already wake up. You know that waking up is something we all do. By the grace of God, we wake up. So when you wake up, attach that new habit by planning your day. Or before I go to bed, as we said, plan ahead of time. Before I go to bed, I'm going to spend 5 minutes planning my day. Another thing we can do is after dinner, I can spend 15 minutes of quality time with my children. You always have dinner. So you can attach the habit of spending quality time with your children after dinner. That is what habit stacker is. Attaching a new habit to something you already do. Okay? Another way we can build practical steps to stay consistent is to track your progress. Track your progress, track your process, even in small ways. You can use a checklist to check how you're making effort, how you're progressing, what you're doing. You can use a habit tracker that can help you keep yourself accountable. Just track yourself. And one of the ways we can track our process and our progress is by journaling. By reflection, self-reflection, journaling, writing your thoughts every day, writing your thoughts. How did this thing go? What would I have done better? Am I on the right path? The choices I'm making today, the decisions I'm making today, is it helping me to achieve my goal? One of the ways to track our process is by journaling. Journaling is one gift we can give to ourselves. I encourage you to journal. Get a book, get a pen, journal your thoughts. Journal what happens during the day. Don't allow the day to just go that way. When you journal, you're able to track yourself, to track your progress. What have I done? What am I doing? What do I need to do? What are the areas I need to improve on? Another way we can stay consistent is to make it fun and reward yourself. Make your goal fun. See it as something fun. Don't see it as something you need to suffer. For example, if you have a goal of staying healthy and your process of staying healthy is by exercising and cutting down on your food or stop late eating, see it as fun. Don't see it as you're suffering yourself. No, see it as fun because you know it's for the greater good of being healthy. See it as fun. Reward yourself. If you've achieved your goal, you've done a lot of work towards achieving, you reward yourself. Whatever is reward for you, just reward yourself. Set small rewards for consistency. If you're consistent, set small rewards for yourself. For example, you can say, after completing 7 days of being focused on this task, completing 7 days of playing with my children as I plan to do it, I'm going to treat myself with relaxing moments. I'm going to reward myself with whatever you like to reward yourself with. So reward yourself. When you do that, it helps you. It helps us to be consistent. So we must learn to be consistent. We must learn to cut distractions. Another way we can be consistent is to cut distractions and build a deep focus routine. Cut your distractions. What are those things that are distracting you? We all know our distractions. Cut them down and begin to build a deep focus routines. When you do that, it's going to help us a lot in achieving our goals. When we carry out these 3 C's we've talked about: clarity, consistency, clarity, commitment, and consistency, it's going to help us, number one, to even eliminate distractions in our life. It's going to even help us to build a deep focus focus for our goals. It's going to help us to build a deep focus routine that can help us on a daily basis to be closer towards achieving our goal. So we must learn as parents to work on ourselves. Eliminate, identify and eliminate all your distractions. You know them. Ask yourself, what is that thing stealing my focus the most? Identify, because you can only solve a thing when you know the name of a thing, when you know the thing. So first of all, identify that distraction and eliminate it. How can I eliminate or reduce this distraction? That is the question we should ask ourselves. How can I eliminate this distraction? How can I reduce this distraction? Then when you can do that, you now say, okay, how can I begin to focus? Are there areas in my home? Is there a place I can focus more? Is there a place I can focus better? Is there a focus zone for me? Create a focus zone for yourself and begin to focus. When you focus, you find out that you do more deep work. You find that you're more focused on the tasks per time. But first of all, you need to identify your distraction. Another thing we can do for ourselves as parents is to teach our children focus skills. We should teach our children how to focus, because the truth is that focus is something a lot of parents are battling with in this day and time. We must teach our children focus, but the truth is that we are models. Our children get to learn from what they see us do. If our children constantly see us distracted, they will mirror that behavior. But if they see that we are focused on our goals, our dreams, every day we're putting in the work, they are going to pick it up. So we must model focus by setting boundaries with technology. Set boundaries with technology. Don't allow technology to rule you, but we should rule technology because we are in charge of this technology. So set boundaries with technology. Another way we can build focus for ourselves and our children is to learn to finish one task before starting another. So focus on one task per time. Finish one task, then you move to another task. Another way we can build focus for ourselves and our children is to encourage quiet, independent play to build focus, to build concentration skill. Encourage your child to play. Play is the work of a child. Don't say this child plays too much. Do you know what children learn by playing? There are so many things a child can learn from playing. So play is the work of our children. So allow these children to play. Allow them to play, because they build so many skills by just playing. In playing, they learn focus. In playing, they learn how to concentrate. So allow your children to play. The more they play, the more they are building life skills they need to thrive in life. So we must learn to focus as parents. We must learn to also teach our children focus. So when we are able to master these three C's: clarity, commitment, and consistency, it helps us as parents to reduce our stress. It helps to reduce our overwhelm. It helps us to be more present with ourselves, with our families, and it helps us to set a strong example of discipline and focus for our family. So what are you going to be doing differently? What would you be doing differently? Ask yourself, what is that one distraction I need to eliminate today, not tomorrow? What is that one distraction you need to eliminate now, not tomorrow? Ask yourself, go ahead and eliminate that distraction. How can you apply these three C's of clarity, commitment, and consistency in your daily routine, in your parenting routine? How can you be clear? How can you be consistent? How can you be commitment? How can you apply these three C's in your daily routine, in your parenting, in all aspects of your life? Then the third question we need to ask ourselves, what small step can we take today to improve on our focus? What step can you take today to improve on your focus? What are you going to be doing today, not tomorrow, to improve on your focus? Get to work and start to do it, because our life is dependent on what we place our focus on. So I encourage us as parents, write down your priority for tomorrow, plan for tomorrow, plan your life. Don't allow life to just happen by chance. Commit to focusing on what is important without distraction. Commit to it. Tell yourself, I'm not going to be distracted. Is it my phone? Turn your notification off. Is it looking at a message? I will not look at this message. I'm in charge. I'm in control. Commit to focusing and avoid distraction. Then show up daily for your goals. Even if it's 5 minutes, show up for yourself. Show up for yourself. Show up daily for that thing you want to achieve, for that thing you believe in. Show up daily. Then in summary, we must always remember as parents, your focus determines your future. Our focus determines our future. Whatever you focus on determines your future. So choose wisely, focus wisely, because our focus determines our future. Our presence shape our children's life. The way you are present for your children in the life of your children, it shapes their life. Sometimes our children do not need so many gifts. All those things we are buying for our children, plenty clothes, plenty shoes. The truth is that our children need more of our presence. So be a present parent. We should be present parent. I'm also talking to myself. Be involved. Be present. Even if it's 15 minutes, you spend with your children. Let it be quality. Let it be undistracted. Let it be what's the wow. Be a present parent. Don't go around buying all the gifts in the world and you're not there with the child. Be present, because when you're present in the life of your child, it shapes who that child will become. It shapes that adult that child will grow up to be. Then in summary, in conclusion, choose wisely. Choose wisely, make your decisions wisely, make your choices wisely, and master the act of focus. Master the act of focusing on your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, and teach your children. We should teach our children how to focus. So that is it for us today. I believe you've got value. You've learned about clarity. I've also learned myself. I've learned about clarity, consistency, and commitment. So we should be clear, we should be consistent, and we should be committed to our goal. When we do that, we are just on our way to success. We are just on our way to achieving our goals and being the future, achieving our dreams and our aspirations. So I believe you've got value. Drop it in the comment section. What would you be doing differently today? Now, not tomorrow. What actions are you going to be taking differently that is going to make a whole lot of difference, a positive change in your life and in everything you do? So please remember to share this video. Drop it in the comment. Even if you're catching a replay, say something you're going to be doing differently. Share this video with your family, your friends, your loved ones. Let us make the world a better place. Let us learn. Let us grow to be better individuals in our own spaces. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Renewed Parent Academy. Join us on Facebook, The Renewed Parent Academy. Please get a copy of my book, Becoming a Renewed Parent, and start up your growth journey. I believe you got value for your time. Thank you very much. And remember, it's your responsibility to grow. It's your responsibility to be focused. Nobody is going to do the work for us. We need to stand up, step up to our responsibility, and begin to put in the work. So thank you for joining me today. I believe you got value. So till I come your way next week, Wednesday, on our Wednesday live. This is Choma Odikolo here. Do have a great day and see you later. Bye.